Okay, if you want to do furniture design, when you first open up Sketchup, choose templates and go for this one, woodworking in millimeters. Hit start Sketchup. Now when you're in Sketchup, you can change lots of things to do with what shows on the trays on the side here and which tools are showing. I suggest that what you do is you go into View and Toolbars, and the toolbars I've got switched on are the large tool set, which are these ones here, and the measurements, which are down here. And I've also got switched on my views, which are these here, so allow me to see different views of the objects I draw. Over here on the trays, if I go into my trays, so default tray or manage trays even, when I click onto manage trays and click on the default tray setting, it shows me I've got entity and material switched on. There's lots of other ones that could be there, but at the moment all I'm really interested in is information about what I'm drawing and how I can apply materials to those things afterwards. So they're going to be good enough for what I want to do at the moment. So I'm going to close that, and now we're ready to have a go at something. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to start off by drawing a rectangle. So I'm going to choose the rectangle tool over here, and I'm going to draw it on the basically the bottom. These are my axes of going in 3 different directions. It'll make more sense when I draw something. If I basically click and then start dragging out, it will create a rectangle or a square for me. Anywhere where I put into a position like this, where I've got a diagonal that goes across, that tells me I'm actually going to create a square. And if you look down in the bottom left of the screen now, you'll see the dimensions are exactly the same. So if I want to make this accurately, say I wanted to make this to be a meter by a meter, what I could do is I could type in 1,000, so 1,000 millimeters obviously, comma 1,000, and now when I press enter, watch what happens. Okay, so that creates for me a rectangle, and it's filled in, so it's made of lines around the outside and a solid bit in the middle, but at the moment it hasn't got any thickness. So the next tool that's worth looking at is this one here, which is the push-pull tool. If I click on the push-pull tool and hover, you can see this changes colour. When it changes colour, it means I'm selecting this thing to do something to it. So if I grab and pull upwards, I can make this into a 3-dimensional shape. Okay, I've finished with that, that's done. I moved up a distance of 761 mil, but I could have typed that number in if I wanted it accurately. Next thing I want to show you is some of these tools here. So these ones are to do with how I look at it. So if I click onto different views, you can see as I hover over them, that's the front view, that's the right view, and so on. And if I want to go back to my 3-dimensional view, I click the house picture and there's my 3-dimensional view. You can see the blue axis line is going up and down, and the red and green are going on a horizontal plane. If I want to move this around, I've got various options. So if I click on the hand tool here or press the H on the keyboard, I can basically move this object about. If I want to select something, I use this selection tool. So if I want to select a line, to do something just to that line, or a face, etc., I can use that with the selection tool. If I want to do what's called Revolve, I hold down the middle mouse button. I can move around from left to right with my mouse, or up and down, underneath, whatever I want to do with it. If I want to zoom in or zoom out, I roll my mouse. So those are the easy ways of navigating what you're going to be doing, and an easy way of moving it about.